Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a baseball feud that went from a simmer to a full-on boil, ending in one of the biggest upsets you'll ever see. We're talking about the total, shocking collapse of a powerhouse team at the hands of their biggest rivals. So picture this, it's 2023 and the Los Angeles Dodgers are an absolute juggernaut. I mean, they were a titan of the sport, just rolling over teams and racking up an incredible 100 wins in the regular season. But then the postseason hits. You know, the part that really matters. And how many series did they win? A big fat 0. They didn't just lose, they got swept right out of the first round. Gone. And you know who did it? This stunning, almost unbelievable exit came from their division rivals, the Arizona Diamondbacks, a team that, on paper, they were supposed to absolutely steamroll. So how does that happen? To really get it, you can't just look at the stats from that series. No, we've got to dig deeper into a rivalry that is way more personal and way more bitter than most people think.
Okay, so where did all this animosity even come from? Well, let me tell you, the bad blood between the Dodgers and Diamondbacks didn't just pop up overnight. Oh no, it's been simmering for well over a decade.
See, this isn't your typical rivalry. It's really a clash of identities. You've got the old guard, the historic Dodgers, this legendary franchise, and then you have the new kid on the block, the Diamondbacks, who literally didn't exist until 1998. They're only about 375 miles apart, but trust me, they are worlds apart in culture. And this right here, this timeline, it charts the whole escalation. It starts with the usual stuff, players getting hit with pitches. But then it explodes in 2013 with a massive, benches-clearing brawl. We're talking everyone out on the field. And that same year, we get the single most disrespectful moment in this whole story, the infamous pool party. So get this, after the Dodgers clinched the division title in Arizona, a bunch of their players celebrated by jumping into the swimming pool that's in the outfield at Chase Field. The Diamondbacks' leadership was furious. This quote from their CEO just drips with sarcasm, but it shows how deeply disrespected they felt. And that one moment, it made everything personal. And this whole clash of identities, this old guard versus the new, it's perfectly captured by the very stadiums the teams play in.
A fan who went to both parks just nailed the difference. They said Dodger Stadium is this iconic cathedral of baseball. It's just dripping with history, and it's buzzing with the energy of over 53,000 screaming fans. And Chase Field? Well, it just felt kind of subdued, generic, and yeah, pretty bland.
I mean, this quote from a fan says it all, right? It perfectly illustrates how people see the two clubs. One's a historic landmark, a true destination. The other feels functional, sure, but it's just lacking that soul, that thing that makes a ballpark truly special. So this difference, this perception of the celebrated giant versus the overlooked underdog, it really sets the perfect stage for what happened next. So with all that history in our back pocket, let's jump back to the 2023 playoffs and break down exactly how this monumental upset went down. Okay, let this number sink in for a second. 4 2/3. That's the total number of innings pitched by the Dodgers' entire starting rotation across the whole 3-game series. That's an all-time postseason record for just how bad it was. Their best pitchers couldn't even combine to finish one single game. It's just unbelievable. So you can imagine, with the pitching just completely imploding, the offense had to step up, right? Well, the Dodgers' 2 MVP candidates, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, were complete ghosts. They combined for just one single hit in 21 tries. Your superstars cannot disappear like that in October. It's just not going to work. Look, the Diamondbacks didn't just get lucky here. They totally dominated. They ambushed the Dodgers' legendary pitcher, Clayton Kershaw, right out of the gate in Game 1. And then, in the final game, they made postseason history by hitting 4 home runs in 1 inning. From top to bottom, they were just better. So after a win that big, a win that was basically revenge for a decade of disrespect, the huge question hanging over this rivalry heading into 2026 is pretty simple. What's next? So let's take a look. How do these two rivals actually stack up right now? I mean, on paper, you got to admit, the 2026 Dodgers lineup still looks like one of the best ever put together. You've got superstars like Ohtani, Tucker, Betts, Freeman. It's insane. And hey, Arizona's not standing still. They've added some serious veteran talent themselves, like Nolan Arenado. But that powerful lineup might not matter if you can't stop the other team from scoring, and the Dodgers are starting 2026 with some massive question marks. A huge chunk of their pitching staff is already on the injured list with serious shoulder problems and even a Tommy John surgery. That's a major elbow reconstruction that can keep a pitcher out for a whole year, sometimes more. So here's the big takeaway. While the Dodgers are still this financial and star-powered titan, the Diamondbacks proved they can do more than just hang with them. They can land a knockout blow on the biggest stage. So yeah, the days of David versus Goliath, they're over. Now it's just a battle, and it's one you absolutely do not want to miss.